Are we still live?
No. Welcome to the TnT Podcast channel. We're live with Thomas Lindsey and Thomas Lindsey, and we are going to be doing the, let me get the screen share up.
21 Berkshire Hathaway Annual Shareholders Letter.
Yes, exciting. It's going to be exciting, guys. So, yeah.
We covered the 2022 letter not that long ago.
Yeah, so guys, check out the other podcast after this one. Go ahead.
In this letter, there are a few repeats. I mean, this is the earlier letter, but he does repeat a few of the same themes.
Yeah, but it's always good to get a refresher, and it's always good to, check out the stuff. So, yeah. Alrighty.
It's also really interesting to check out the growth. I don't know if you remember all the different numbers from the last one, but we'll get to them when we read them. But in particular, the insurance float amount, has gone up, and we'll see what it was back when he wrote this letter for the 2021 year. Anyway.
Yes.
You have the letter? Oh, yes, you do. Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Berkshire Hathaway and Inc. Annual Report 2021. All right. And what page is the letter on? 3 to 12.
It should be the next. Yeah. There you go.
Right here?
Yes.
Berkshire Hathaway Inc. To the shareholders of Berkshire and Hathaway, Charlie Munger, my longtime partner, and I have the job of managing a portion of your savings. We are honored. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit. We are honored by your trust. In our position. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what the right zoom is. Okay, I guess this will work. Alright. Our positions to carry with it the responsibility to report what you like and what we want to know if the absentee owner were the manager. We enjoy communicating directly with you through this annual letter and through the annual meeting as well. Alright, you read some. I'm going to get the promotion up really quick on Discord. Shout it out. So, yeah.
Okay. I may just... if you want, I can read the whole thing.
Yeah, I would prefer you to read it, and then I respond to comments and stuff like that for this one. Because I actually have a little bit of a sore throat. I don't know if you could tell that. But yeah.
Alright, yeah, I'll read the whole thing. I do want attention.
I'll pay attention, though.
On it so that you can comment on whatnot. So I'm going to start from the top. To the shareholders of Berkshire Hathaway Inc., Charlie Munger, my longtime partner, and I have the job of managing a portion of your savings. We are honored by your trust. Our position carries with it the responsibility to report to you what we would like to know if we were the absentee owner and you were the manager. We enjoy communicating directly with you through this annual letter and through the meeting as well. Our policy is to treat all shareholders equally. Therefore, we do not hold discussions with analysts nor large institutions. Whenever possible, also, we release important communications on Saturday mornings. In order to maximize the time for shareholders and the media to absorb the news before markets open on Monday. A wealth of Berkshire facts and figures are set forth in the annual 10K that the company regularly files with the SEC and that we reproduce on pages K1 through K119. Some shareholders will find this detail engrossing. Others will simply prefer to learn what Charlie and I believe is new or interesting at Berkshire. Alas, there was little action of that sort in 2021. We did, though, make reasonable progress in increasing the intrinsic value of your shares. That task has been my primary duty for 57 years, and it will continue to be. So this is the introductory portion of the letter.
Yeah, so K1 and through K119, that's just like the whole like annual report, right? Pretty much.
Right. And yes, and we last time and this time we're only set to actually read the letter, but I think we should read the report, although we might not want to live stream that until we've done it a few times and we feel really comfortable reading it and analyzing it and sharing what we find out.
Yeah, and I would want to do the newest one first. So yeah. All right, we currently have 2 likes and 3 people in the stream, guys. So I'm checking on my phone. If you guys want to comment anything, guys, just there's always a live stream chat. Thank you for your likes and viewership. All right, so let's go to the next section. My cat's actually, give me a sec. My cat is going crazy. Do you hear the cat?
I don't hear the cat, but okay, I believe you. Can you still hear me with your headphones off or not? I'm going to guess that you cannot hear me. So, for all those watching, Thomas can see the chat, but I cannot. So if there's any chat going on, he'll be the one to see it. And
hi, guys!
What's the name of the cat?
Alrighty.
I don't think you can hear me.
We got the cat in the stream. What? See, look at this.
Yeah, what's the cat's name?
Claus.
Claus, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you've had Claus for a while.
Yeah. I've had Claus. You've seen Claus since like it was like this small.
Yeah, since he was a kitten. Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Okay, so
we're at what you own, right?
Right, I'll keep reading. Oh, is the Moo link in the description or the?
No, it's comment? Not. Let me get it in the pinned comment. But keep reading while we do that.
Great. Okay, I'll read. What you own. Berkshire owns a wide variety of businesses, some in their entirety, some only in part. The second group largely consists of marketable common stocks of major American companies. Additionally, we own a few non-U.S. equities and participate in several joint ventures or other collaborative activities. Whatever our form of ownership, our goal is to have meaningful investments in businesses with both durable economic advantages and a first-class CEO. Please note particularly that we own stocks based upon our expectations about their long-term business performance, and not because we view them as vehicles for timely market moves. That point is crucial. Charlie and I are not stock pickers. We are business pickers.
I'll
just call it here. You may recognize this.
We did. Wait, is my mic working? Do I need to?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, so basically what we did is we did talk about this last time, but let's just refresh our memories. Like, it's better to not try to time the market, but figure out what business you want to invest into and figure out great businesses that are on sale. So yeah, according to the stock market, not like trying to time it because we talked about this. You don't want to be a bottom picker. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think repetition is good. It helps with the learning. And yes, we did talk about this in the last letter because Warren wrote about it in the last letter. So.
Yep.
Continuing on, this is Warren speaking, or writing. I make many mistakes. Consequently, our extensive collection of businesses includes some enterprises that have truly extraordinary economics, many others that enjoy good economic characteristics, and a few that are marginal. One advantage of our common stock segment is that, on occasion, it becomes easy to buy pieces of wonderful businesses at wonderful prices. That shooting fish in a barrel experience is very rare in negotiated transactions and never occurs en masse. It is also far easier to exit from a mistake when it has been made in the marketable arena.
So wait, what does he mean by the marketable? Sorry, let me say what I was going to say. What does it mean by the marketable arena?
He's referring to the marketable common stocks of major American companies or other companies.
Okay, that makes sense.
So when he says marketable arena, he's talking about publicly traded stocks.
Okay.
So what he's saying is it's easier to sell publicly traded stocks than it is to sell privately owned or wholly owned companies.
That makes sense. That sounds
because
right to
there's a
me.
market of people buying it.
Yeah. So yeah, and so if you screwed up on buying a privately owned company that was going under that you can't save, then you're like, oh, I guess that's my loss. But if you screw up on the stocks, and I mean, there's still going to be people buying it, and you might only have like a 20% loss instead of a 100% loss. Is that what I'm getting at? That's what I'm thinking.
I think you may be extending. You might be saying a little bit more than what he's saying. I think he's limiting it to being that it's easier to exit from a position. He's not. You know, I think you extended it farther than what he was saying.
Okay. Alrighty, let's go to the next section. The surprise.
Surprise, surprise. Here are a few items about your company that often surprise even seasoned investors. Many people perceive Berkshire as a large and somewhat strange collection of financial assets. In truth, Berkshire owns and operates more U.S.-based infrastructure assets, classified on our balance sheet as property, plant, and equipment, than are owned and operated by any other American corporation. That supremacy has never been our goal. It has, however, become a fact. At year-end, those domestic infrastructure assets were carried on Berkshire's balance sheet at $158 billion. That number increased last year and will continue to increase. Berkshire always will be building. Now that's amazing to me. Like on their balance sheet, and this was in 21, and so it's probably the
Imagine if the U.S. government was running like Berkshire and Hathaway. We wouldn't be in any debt.
Well, that's the next little bullet point. He talks about their tax payments. Should we go straight to that?
Sure.
Every year, your company makes substantial federal income tax payments. In 2021, for example, we paid $3.3 billion, while the U.S. Treasury reported total corporate income tax receipts of $402 billion. Additionally, Berkshire pays substantial state and foreign taxes. I gave it the office is an unassailable assertion when made by Berkshire shareholders. Berkshire's history vividly illustrates the invisible and often unrecognized financial partnership between government and American business. Our tale begins early in 1955, when Berkshire Fine Spinning and Hathaway Manufacturing agreed to merge their businesses. In their request for shareholder approval, these venerable New England textile companies expressed high hopes for the combination. The Hathaway solicitation, for example, assured its shareholders that the combination of the resources and managements will result in one of the strongest and most efficient organizations in the textile industry. That upbeat view was endorsed by the company's advisor, Lehman Brothers. Yes, that Lehman Brothers.
Oh, I've heard of them. What do they do again? Textile?
Well, they failed back in sometime before 2012.
Yeah, I remember them. I remember people talking to them as a kid in the Tysons McLean area. So yeah.
I remember watching their stock. I don't remember the exact number, but it dropped from. I mean, we could look it up and see.
Yeah, let's look it up.
It dropped precipitously.
Let's look it up. Let's see what they used to be at. Oh yeah, as of January, their stock is worth 0.0003% of a share. Okay, wait.
I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what you're looking at, but that's definitely not the original ticker symbol.
That's not okay.
No, you could go to. We could look it up another time off the.
Okay, we'll figure it out later.
But I remember it falling hard, and I was like, "Whoa!" And the news hadn't really reached me what had happened. And I was like, maybe I should buy some. I was like, no, I don't know what's happened, so I'm not going to buy any.
Yeah.
And then of course they went bankrupt. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so returning to Warren's thing, are you reading along with me on the document, on the letter, as I read it out loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's why I've been commenting and engaged.
Okay, great. Should we share the link to it with the viewers?
No, it's fine. It's in the middle of the screen on the live stream. They can see it.
Okay, but we could provide a link to them so they can get it for themselves.
We'll do it after the stream. We'll comment to the link.
Okay. All right. Excuse me. Continuing on. I'm sure it was a joyous day in both Fall River, Berkshire, and New Bedford, Hathaway, when the union was consummated. After the bands stopped playing and the bankers went home, however, the shareholders reaped a disaster. In the 9 years following the merger, Berkshire's owners watched the company's net worth crater from $51.4 million to $22.1 million. In part, this decline was caused by stock repurchases, ill-advised dividends, and plant shutdowns. But 9 years of effort by many thousands of employees delivered an operating loss as well. Berkshire's struggles were not unusual. The New England textile industry had silently entered an extended and non-reversible death match. During the 9 post-merger years, the U.S. Treasury suffered as well from Berkshire's troubles. All told, the company paid the government only $359 in income tax during that period, a pathetic $100 per day. Early in 1965, things changed. Berkshire installed new management that redeployed available cash and steered essentially all earnings into a variety of good businesses, most of which remained good through the years. Coupling reinvestment of earnings with the power of compounding worked its magic, and shareholders prospered. Berkshire's owners, it should be noted, were not the only beneficiary of that course correction. Their silent partner, the U.S. Treasury, proceeded to collect many tens of billions of dollars from the company in income tax payments. Remember the $100 daily? Now Berkshire pays roughly $9 million daily to the Treasury.
That's a lot of money every single day. I mean, most people would be happy to make that in their lifetime, $9 million, I guess. And they're paying that a day, so I'm just saying, like, guys, never doubt yourself. If, I mean, you gotta get a team up, but if you get a team, basically, it's a lot better. That's a lot of money. The chat says that's a lot of money. So, I mean, you can start small, but you can just get bigger and bigger. Climb that up that 1% ladder. So, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
In fairness to our governmental partner, our shareholders should acknowledge, indeed trumpet, the fact that Berkshire's prosperity has been fostered mightily because the company has operated in America. Our country would have done splendidly in the years since 1965 without Berkshire. Absent our American home, however, Berkshire would never have come close to becoming what it is today. When you see the flag, say thanks. From an $8.6 million purchase of national indemnity in 1967, Berkshire has become the world leader in insurance float, money we hold and can invest, but that does not belong to us, including a relatively small sum derived from life insurance. Berkshire's total float has grown from $19 million when we entered the insurance business to $147 billion. Now, this is the 2021 letter. Do you remember how much it was in the 2022 letter?
Wasn't it closer to 300 billion?
No. It was 167 billion, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I went up 20 billion, which is still pretty significant.
Yeah, that is significant. Yeah.
Continuing on, he says, so far, this float has cost us less than nothing. Though we have experienced a number of years when insurance losses combined with operating expenses exceeded premiums, overall, we have earned a modest 55-year profit from the underwriting activities that generated our float. Of equal importance, float is very sticky. Funds attributable to our insurance operations come and go daily, but their aggregate total is immune from precipitous decline. When it comes to investing float, we can therefore think long term. If you are not already familiar with the concept of float, I refer you to a long explanation on page A5. To my surprise, our float increased $9 billion last year, a buildup of value that is important to Berkshire owners, though is not reflected in our GAAP generally accepted accounting principles, presentation of earnings and net worth. Much of our huge value creation in insurance is attributable to Berkshire's good luck. In my 1986 hiring of Ajit Jain, we first met on a Saturday morning, and I quickly asked Ajit what his insurance experience had been. He replied, none. I said, nobody's perfect, and hired him. That was my lucky day. Ajit actually was as a perfect choice as could have been made. Better yet, he continues to be 35 years later.
Wow.
One final thought about insurance.
Yeah, so I actually work in the insurance. I work for Primerica part-time right now, and the thing is, their strategy is very favorable for them, but also you can still make a lot of money even with their favorability with Primerica, and they have over 178,000 licensed life insurance reps, and they're very good at getting people insured at their company. They have courses, they have everything, and the thing is, the insurance market is like, it's basically the opposite of a casino, but the house always wins, so the insurance people always win. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if you would bring that up, because you do have that part-time job there with them.
Yeah.
One final thought about insurance. I believe that it is likely, but far from assured, that Berkshire's float can be maintained without our incurring a long-term underwriting loss. I am certain, however, that there will be some years when we experience such losses, perhaps involving very large sums. Berkshire is constructed to handle catastrophic events as no other insurer, and that priority will remain long after Charlie and I are gone. Is the Moo thing up?
No, it's not. Do you want me to do that now? Did you email it to me? Oh, the cat can hear. The chat can hear my cat purring. Can you hear it?
I don't hear it.
Oh, the chat can.
Yes, I emailed the link to you.
Alrighty. I'm gonna switch the other screen, guys, so I don't leak all my emails. I think you texted it to me. Are you sure you emailed it to me? Oh no, you did email it to me.
I emailed it.
Oh, you emailed it on my other Gmail account. That's why, not the red account.
Okay, so you're getting that up.
Yeah.
I will keep reading. I want to make sure that was up for this next part, because I want to reference Moo maybe at the end of this section.
There you go. It's up now.
Okay, fantastic.
There you go. Yo, Cyber, what's
back
up
to the
in the
letter.
chat? We're doing the letter. Okay, now read. We're doing the letter, and hopefully you enjoy our. Let's see how many likes we're at now, and how many viewers. All right, we're at 4 viewers and 3 likes. So I know one of you guys haven't liked yet. So you guys just gotta click that like button to help us in the YouTube algorithm really quick. Share with some friends. Do whatever it takes. This stuff will help people. And that's our goal. All right, go ahead.
Our 4 giants. Through Berkshire, our shareholders own many dozens of businesses. Some of these, in turn, have a collection of subsidiaries of their own. For example, Marmon has more than 100 individual business operations, ranging from the leasing of railroad cars to the manufacture of medical devices. Nevertheless, operations of our big 4 companies account for a very large chunk of Berkshire's value. Leading this list is our cluster of insurers. Berkshire effectively owns 100% of this group, whose massive float value we earlier described. The invested assets of these insurers are further enlarged by the extraordinary amount of capital we invest to back up their promises. The insurance business is made to order for Berkshire. The product will never be obsolete, and sales volume will generally increase along with both economic growth and inflation. Also, integrity and capital will forever be important. Our company can and will behave well. There are, of course, other insurers with excellent business models and prospects. Replication of Berkshire's operation, however, would be almost impossible. So
Well,
that Berkshire owns Geico, along with
yeah.
other insurance companies.
I mean, Geico, I actually have Geico. Well, my mother does, and Geico has been all over the place. They're good enough, but they're not great. Okay.
Yeah, I think Berkshire Hathaway is a very admirable company, but I too left Geico Insurance years ago.
Geico needs
I just
some
found it
work. We'll put it that way. They aren't the best insurance company.
They're good until you need them.
Yeah. Once you need them, they're not so great. Like they're the cheapest. So yeah.
I don't know if I found cheaper options, but
Oh, it's
the risks
just
are
my face still? Oh shoot. Sorry guys. Okay, now we're back at the letter. Sorry about that. That's true.
and me too.
Yeah, it's just our faces. They couldn't see the letter.
Oh,
No,
okay.
now they can.
All right, I'm going to continue on. Apple, our runner-up giant, as measured by its year-end market value, is a different sort of holding. Here, our ownership is a mere 5.55%, up from 5.39% a year earlier. That increase sounds like small potatoes, but consider that each 0.1% of Apple's 2021 earnings amounted to $100 million. We spent no Berkshire funds to gain our accretion. Apple's repurchases did the job. It's important to understand that only dividends from Apple are counted in the GAAP earnings Berkshire reports. Last year, Apple paid us $785 million of those. Yet our share of Apple's earnings amounted to a staggering $5.6 billion. Much of what the company retained was used to repurchase Apple shares, an act we applaud. Tim Cook, Apple's brilliant CEO, quite properly regards users of Apple products as his first love. But all of his other constituencies benefit from Tim's managerial touch as well. Again, just want to remind you and anyone else that is watching or listening that this is the 21 letter, so the numbers will be different for 22 and for 23 and going forward.
Yes. We're going through the older letters. We're trying to get through all of them. And then we're going to go, once we get through that, then we're going to start doing annual reports. We're going to have podcasts about other stuff too. So, guys, it's just going to be exciting. The podcast 3 times a week, that's the goal. 3 times a week is the goal. And I don't know, we can't do it every week, but we can do it most weeks, and that's what matters.
BNSF, our third giant, continues to be the #1 artery of American commerce, which makes it an indispensable asset for America as well as for Berkshire. If the many essential products BNSF carries were instead hauled by truck, America's carbon emissions would soar. Your railroad had record earnings of $6 billion in 2021. Here it should be noted, we are talking about the old-fashioned sort of earnings that we favor, a figure calculated after interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization, and all forms of compensation. Our definition suggests a warning. Deceptive, quote, adjustments, unquote, to earnings, to use a polite description, have become both more frequent and more fanciful as stocks have risen. Speaking less politely, I would say that bull markets breed bloviated bull blank, and bull ellipses.
Bull crap.
Yeah, so a lot of the earnings that get reported don't take into account.
All right, I just got something scheduled for 11 o'clock. I forgot about, so we got until 10:30 to try to finish this letter. Not too much of a rush, but yeah.
Oh, no problem. I mean, we can finish this in the next 30 minutes or less.
Okay, good. Just making sure, because I totally forgot about that thing at 11.
So BNSF stands for Burlington Northern Santa Fe, if I'm not mistaken. BNSF trains traveled 143 million miles last year and carried 535 million tons of cargo. Both accomplishments far exceed those of any other American carrier. You can be proud of your railroad. BHE, our final giant, earned a record $4 billion in 2021. That's up more than 30-fold from the $122 million earned in 2000, the year that Berkshire first purchased a BHE stake. Now Berkshire owns 91.1% of the company. So in 21 years, it went up from 122 million to 4 billion. That's pretty good. BHE's record of societal accomplishment is as remarkable as its financial performance. The company had no wind or solar generation in 2000. It was then regarded simply as a relatively new and minor participant in the huge electric utility industry. Subsequently, under David Sokol's and Greg Abel's leadership, BHE has become a utility powerhouse. No groaning, please. That's what, he's making a little pun there.
Yeah.
And a leading force in wind, solar, and transmission throughout much of the United States. Greg's report on these accomplishments appear on pages A3 and A4. The profile you will find there is not in any way one of those currently fashionable greenwashing stories. BHE has been faithfully detailing its plans and performance in renewables and transmissions every year since 2007. To further review this information, visit BHE's website at brkenergy.com. There you will see that the company has long been making climate-conscious moves that soak up all of its earnings. More opportunities lie ahead. BHE has the management, the experience, the capital, and the appetite for the huge power projects that our country needs.
Yes. That's good. Well, we got to make a competitor to them and beat them. With William. William's going to have some hydrogen fusion, some solar. Watch out, BHE. Okay. Alrighty.
All right, so let me make a call out at this point to the Moo app. There is a link, Thomas, in the description for people.
Yes, and the comment.
And what?
And the comment. The comment. The comment.
Is it a pinned comment?
Yeah.
Okay, so by opening an account and depositing money, new account holders can get a bonus. The bonuses change from time to time, so follow the link and find out what the current bonus is. And it's a very accessible way to get into the stock market.
Yeah, buy some Berkshire.
And I prefer it much.
Berkshire B, guys. Yo, J-Rick, what's up? You can buy some Berk. Buy 1 share of Berk and come to the meeting with us, guys. Right?
Yeah, maybe we should say if we get 1,000 likes, we'll go to the meeting.
No, if we get 1 million views through our whole podcast series, we will go to the meeting. Okay.
Okay, and then maybe we should talk offline. But what if we let people who join the channel meet up with us?
Yeah, I think so. If they join the channel for $25 a month, then they deserve to meet up with us.
So they join the channel for $25 a month, and they have credentials to go to the meeting.
Yeah, then they can go with us.
We'll meet them.
Yeah, I think that's worth it.
Well, they can meet us there. I don't think we'll say. We don't want to use the language that they can go with us, but we can use the language that they can meet us.
Yeah, they can meet us there. Yeah.
Go with us sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, for that's like $3,000, guys. $3,000 if you want to go with us. I mean, if you guys are interested, for $3,000, I mean, maybe there's some rich person who likes us. Well, I'll be the chauffeur for you, Mr. Rich Person, for $3,000. Okay. I'll be the one driving you.
All right. Let me continue with the letter.
Okay, we got a little off track, but yeah. Okay, look at this shit.
I think it's good.
Hey, Just Lake, what's up? Wait, sure. Somebody said sure to the $3,000. In the chat. Yes. Okay, no way. No way. His name is just Link. Let's look up his channel. Okay, I know this is a little off topic. Yo! Just like, oh, he has 1 million subscribers, bro. He said, sure. What if we have to take him now? He said $3,000. I guess I'm gonna be his chauffeur. 1 million subs in the chat. Oh my gosh. Hey, get to the Dulles airport and I'll chauffeur you the whole way there if you give me $3,000.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, you might have to figure that out after the stream or offline or.
Okay, he has 1 million subscribers, so like, well, I'll talk to you on the stream. What's your Discord? Just like, yeah, give me your Discord. That would be wonderful. We gotta work together.
Okay, I'm gonna keep reading.
Yeah, we're on the investments.
Now let's talk about companies we don't control. A list that again references Apple. Below list our 15 largest equity holdings, several of which are selections of Berkshire's two longtime investment managers, Todd Combs and Ted Weschler. At year end, this valued pair had total authority in respect to $34 billion of investments, many of which do not meet the threshold value we use in the table. Also, a significant portion of the dollars that Todd and Ted manage are lodged in various pension plans of Berkshire-owned businesses, with the assets of these plans not included in this table. What's interesting about that is that means that Berkshire actually owns more than what's reported here, because they own more of these companies within pension plans.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah. Well, just like if you have 1 million subscribers, right? So if you give me a shout out, I'll pay you $30 if you shout out the stream right now, since you have 1 million subscribers. But we gotta connect on Discord, and then maybe you can pay me 3,000, and we'll either be on the same airplane or I'll drive you, whatever. So yeah. Alrighty, so let's see what they have. Let's go through this. American Express, they own 19%. Apple, guys, 5.6%. Apple, they're trillionaires, okay? We got Bank of America, 12%. We got this New York bank. We got the Coca-Cola companies, guys.
This list, just as a reminder, this list is from December 31st, 2021. So it's different now.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I mean, Coca-Cola, guys, like, I mean, who doesn't have a good Sprite or a good Coke every once in a while? All right. I mean, I use a lot of these companies, okay? U.S. Bancorp. I use Verizon for my business phones. Like, Berkshire and Hathaway is making a lot of money based off me.
Yeah, and their total equity investments, again, for December 31st, 2021, were valued at over $350 billion.
Yeah. Well, let's see how much the Berkby stock is worth right now. Let's see. It's actually up 0.22% today, and it's almost at $800 billion market cap. I think it's undervalued, guys. I think it's worth $900 billion right now. So, like, you're still getting in at a good price. So yeah, that's my opinion.
a lot of YouTubers that I watch, especially in the investment or finance space, for whatever reason, they almost always say that they don't make any specific suggestions for what their viewers should buy or sell.
Oh, yeah, because you can get in trouble. I mean, guys, don't buy this at all, and make your own financial decision.
I think you can say that you are a shareholder, which you are, and I'm a shareholder, which I am.
Yeah.
And that, everybody has to do their own research and then make their own decisions and choices based on what they figure out and what they feel is the right move to do. But I think you could definitely say that, you are a shareholder, and I am a shareholder, so.
Yeah, and I believe it's. I mean, don't buy it unless you do your research. Okay. I'm gonna edit that part out of the podcast after. Okay, because I guess you guys got some information for the people watching live. Oh, we're at 9 people live right now, and we're at 4 likes. Come on, 4 likes. We can get this 6 likes when there's 9 people. I know you guys have a finger and you can click it. Okay, I mean, if you don't have a finger, my bad. Like 3 of you might not have fingers, so at least 6 likes.
Okay, so you went through that table, and that's great. And I'm just going to read one of the footnotes on that table, and then we'll go to the next page.
Okay.
In one of the footnotes, he writes, in addition to the footnoted Occidental holding and our various common stock positions, Berkshire also owns a 26.6 interest in Kraft Heinz, accounted for on the equity method, not market value, and carried at $13.1 billion, and 38.6% of Pilot Corp, a leader in travel centers that had revenues last year of $45 billion. Why don't you pull up Kraft Heinz to see what their stock is at right now? It went down from the time that Warren bought it, and it has not performed well for quite a while.
Yeah, so right now Kraft Heinz is at $38.02. They're at a higher price than in their 52 weeks. Let's see, the last year they're down almost 10%.
Okay.
And let's see. Sorry, I got a message. Okay, Kitty, now what do you want? You keep meowing at me. I don't know what you want. Okay, let me attend to my cat really quick. But you can see the screen share, alright? You can talk a little bit about Kraft Heinz while I'm doing that.
Oh, I don't have a whole lot to say about Kraft Heinz, but I don't think Tom can hear me now. And the chat on my phone is tiny. See if I can. Okay, I can zoom in. I can see it. I want some stock and Coke, just to probably says get some of their various drinks.
Yo, I'm in the podcast. Do you mind being in the podcast?
I don't mind.
All right, we got our guest star Andy Chang right here. Andy,
Hello, Andy.
tell me a little bit about you, how long you've known me, and just a little bit about yourself.
Actually, is this being recorded to YouTube?
Yeah, it is.
Being broadcast.
Sorry, I don't feel like acting on the stream. Sorry.
All right, it's all good. Well, watch the stream. Do you want the link to the stream?
No, I'm all right.
All right.
Sorry about that.
All right, all good. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
And I'll edit this part out. All right, bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Alrighty. He does not want to be part of this stream, unfortunately. Never mind. Alrighty.
You'll probably have time. You'll probably have time before 11 o'clock to contact him again.
Yeah, because I need to talk to him about some business stuff. So yeah.
Okay. So one more footnote, and then I'll go to the next section. Since we purchased our pilot stake in 2017, this holding has warranted equity accounting treatment. Early in 2023, Berkshire will purchase an additional interest in Pilot that will raise our ownership to 80% and lead to our fully consolidating Pilot's earnings, assets, and liabilities in our financial statements.
All right, U.S. Treasury bills.
All right, I'll just go ahead and read it.
Yeah.
Berkshire's balance sheet includes $144 billion of cash and cash equivalents, excluding the holdings of BNSF and BHE. Of this sum, $120 billion is held in U.S. Treasury bills, all maturing in less than a year. That stake leaves Berkshire financing about 0.5% of the publicly held national debt. Charlie and I have pledged that Berkshire, along with our subsidiaries other than BNSF and BHE, will always hold more than $30 billion of cash and equivalents. We want your company to be financially impregnable and never dependent on the kindness of strangers or even that of friends. Both of us like to sleep soundly, and we want our creditors, insurance claimants, and you to do so as well. But $144 billion? That imposing sum, I assure you, is not some deranged expression of patriotism. Nor have Charlie and I lost our overwhelming preference for business ownership. Indeed, I first manifested my enthusiasm for that 80 years ago on March 11th, 1942, when I purchased 3 shares of City Services preferred stock. Their cost was $114.75 and required all of my savings. The Dow Jones Industrial Average that day closed at 99, a fact that should scream to you, never bet against America. What's the Dow Jones Industrial Average today, Thomas? Can you look that up?
How much was it back then again?
99.
Dow
So you're looking for the
Jones.
You're looking for the DJ.
Oh, imagine if you
for the
shorted
DJ.
that. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Imagine if
What'd you say?
Imagine if you shorted the Dow Jones at $100.
Yeah, that would not be good. Well, that's what Warren's saying. Never bet against America.
Yeah.
So it went from 99 to 37,000. But the Dow Jones Industrial Average is a, what do you call it? It's an index, and so the constituents or the components of the index change over time. So the Dow Jones, the companies that are in it are not the same companies that were in it in 1942. I mean, there may be a few that are the same, but many of them will be different.
Dang, a verified person on Instagram with 178,000 followers just commented on one of my posts. Oh, we're getting famous, guys. We're getting famous. 1 million subscriber YouTuber commenting. Now this famous Instagram model is direct messaging me. We're getting places, guys.
Are you on Instagram, or are you on this live stream reading this letter with me?
Both at the same time.
Both at the same time.
We were on the Dow Jones page. We were on the Dow Jones page. I was just letting people look at that, and yeah. And I just got a notification on my phone because every time I get anybody who has 100,000 or more, I get a notification from Instagram saying, "Hey, somebody famous is contacting you." Okay.
Oh, is that a setting that you can set in Instagram?
Yeah, it is. So basically, the only people I get notifications for is my fiance and people with over 100,000 followers. That's it.
All right. I'm not on the gram, so I don't know anything about that. After my initial plunge, I always kept at least 80% of my net worth in equities. My favorite status throughout that period was 100% and still is. Are you reading along with me?
No, give me about 15 seconds. I'm messaging the person with 100K.
All right. Let's see. Is there anything in the chat? I was able to zoom in on your screen share, so it doesn't look like anything is really happening in the chat too much.
Yeah. Oh, a new person.
Oh, Davi Noyo.
Davi Noyo, hello. Can you ask us something? Of course. We're here to help. You got Thomas and Thomas Lindsey here to help you. Thomas Lindsey the 18th and Thomas Lindsey the 17th are here to help. So yeah.
The 18th and the 17th. What?
No, 18th and 17th. Not in a row, but throughout our family tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see Davi Noyo's question yet, so I'm going to keep reading until his question pops up.
Yeah.
Or her, I guess it could be.
You really want to go live? Like, what do you mean by that? Do you need help with
He
live?
wants to join the stream?
Do you want to join the stream?
Or does he want to do his own stream?
Or do you want to join our stream or do your own stream? That's our question.
Evil Dave with the joke to Davi Noyos, can I ask you guys something? He says, technically he already did.
But I only have 43. What do you mean you only have 43? 43 what? $43 billion? 43 subscribers?
Well, until he gets the question, I'm gonna keep.
Oh wait! No, 43 subscribers.
43 subs.
Okay. Hey, that's a start. I started. Guess how many subscribers I started with? 0. Okay. And guess how many I have now? 160K. So yeah, I really need 50. Alrighty, well, if I subscribe to you, would that help? Would that help you get to your 50? Alrighty. Yes, alrighty. And don't put quit in your name. Put I'm a be a famous person in your name, or get rid of the parentheses quit part. Alrighty. What do you want to live stream? Do you want to live stream Pet Sim? Okay. What's your goal?
Hi guys, today this guy scammed me and I'm very sad, so yeah, report this dude. His user romadmax26 and tag.
Ah, okay, you do text to speech. You want to be like us? Hey, you gotta start somewhere. Yeah, do you have a Discord? And lose the text to speech. Let's see, what else can we help you with? Alrighty. Well, and you just gotta start up again. Get started. Let's see. You've had a video with 300 views. You've had a video, and you have a video with 300 views, and you're at 50 subscribers now. Like, come on, bro. You don't need to quit anymore. You got this.
And look, he took the quit out of his name.
And he took the quit out of his name. Woo! Woo! All right, no more text to speech. I mean, yeah. Let's get the Discord up. Let's get the Discord. Join my Discord really quick, and let's have a talk after the stream. How about that? Okay. Can you join my live? Well, not yet. We're gonna have people who join our live. It's gonna be a $9.99 a month membership, and then you guys are able to join the live for up to 3 minutes, and then we'll have different tiers of stuff. But not this live stream. Once we get a little bit bigger, of course, we'll have some guest stars, and once I talk to you on Discord and get to know you, yeah. Alrighty, let's go back to the letter.
Alright, I was just thinking the same thing. So, the last part I read was that he likes to keep 100% in equities, 100% of his net worth in equities. But Berkshire's current 80% or so position is a consequence of his failure to find companies or small portions thereof that is marketable stocks, which meet his criteria for long-term holding. Actually, I'm not even sure if I read that part, but there we go. I kind of summarized it. Charlie and I have endured similar cash-heavy positions from time to time in the past. These periods are never pleasant. They are also never permanent. And fortunately, we have had a mildly attractive alternative during 2020 and 2021 for deploying capital. Read on. All right, what do you think is alternative to buying companies or portions of companies?
What's the alternative? Not buying companies? Or what? I'm confused.
Well, I think it's share repurchases.
Yeah, share repurchases. Yeah, that works.
Which is what the next section is.
Yeah.
There are 3 ways that we can increase the value of your investment. The first is always front and center in our minds. Increase the long-term earning power of Berkshire's controlled businesses through internal growth or by making acquisitions. Today, internal opportunities deliver far better returns than acquisitions. The size of those opportunities, however, is small compared to Berkshire's resources. Our second choice is to buy non-controlling part interests in the many good or great businesses that are publicly traded. From time to time, such possibilities are both numerous and blatantly attractive. Today, though, we find little that excites us. That's largely because of a truism. Long-term interest rates that are low push the prices of all productive investments upward. Whether these are stocks, apartments, farms, oil wells, or whatever. Other factors influence valuations as well. But interest rates will always be important. Our final path to value creation is to repurchase Berkshire shares. Through that simple act, we increase your share of the many controlled and non-controlled businesses Berkshire owns. When the price to value equation is right, this path is the easiest and most certain way for us to increase your wealth. Alongside the accretion of value to continuing shareholders, a couple of other parties gain. repurchases are modestly beneficial to the seller of the repurchased shares and to society as well. So this is stuff that he talked about in the more recent letter. I want to say last letter, but that could get confusing since it was the more current letter. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Any comments or input on what he's said in this part of the letter?
I mean, I can't think of anything really. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. For you?
Okay. What was I going to say? Something about... yeah, he talked about this in the that we addressed in the very first episode when we were looking at the 2020.
Yeah, guys, we'll put the first episode, guys, right after the stream. It will automatically redirect you to the first episode of this series. So yeah, which is nice. Let me add the redirect now.
All right. Periodically, as alternative paths become unattractive, repurchases make good sense for Berkshire's owners. During the past 2 years, we therefore repurchased 9% of the shares that were outstanding at year-end 2019 for a total cost of $51.7 billion. That expenditure left our continuing shareholders owning about 10% more of all Berkshire businesses, whether these are wholly owned, such as BNSF and Geico, or partly owned, such as Coca-Cola and Moody's. So that's pretty amazing. Berkshire spent $51.7 billion in the year 2021 repurchasing its own shares.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
So, and if you owned Berkshire Hathaway, your percentage of the company that you owned went up by 10% by doing nothing because the company bought its own shares back.
Hey, we're at 9 viewers, Dad. 9 viewers. This is our best stream yet for the live. All right, 6 likes and 9 viewers. We cannot appreciate you enough, okay?
Yes, yeah. We appreciate the viewers. Going back to the letter, Warren writes, I want to underscore our repurchases to make sense. Our shares must offer appropriate value. We don't want to overpay for the shares of other companies, and it would be value destroying if we were to overpay when we are buying Berkshire. As of February 23rd, 2022, since year-end, we repurchased additional shares at a cost of $1.2 billion. Our appetite remains large, but will always remain price-dependent. It should be noted that Berkshire's buyback opportunities are limited because of its high-class investor base. If our shares were heavily held by short-term speculators, both price and volatility and transaction volumes would materially increase. That kind of reshaping would offer us far greater opportunities for creating value by making repurchases. Nevertheless, Charlie and I far prefer the owners we have, even though their admirable buy-and-keep attitudes limit the extent to which long-term shareholders can profit from opportunistic repurchases. Did you follow all that?
I need it explained a little bit more simply. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, what he's saying in this last paragraph that I just read is because the shareholders of Berkshire Hathaway are, for the most part, he calls them high class.
Yes, I mean we're gonna be high class. We're high class for shareholders. High five. Alrighty.
He also refers to them as buy and hold shareholders, and he's saying because that's what that's their behavior. That means shares of Berkshire Hathaway are less volatile. They have lower volumes. And the prices don't swing as high and low compared to shares of other companies, like other stocks. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I think me in the chat got it.
Okay, and so what he's saying is that...
how can I add you in my life? Hey, Discord's the first step and then we can talk about it from there. I see you've been able to make some YouTube shorts, so if you want to make YouTube shorts for us and make some money, let us know. I've seen you've made over 40 shorts on your YouTube channel before you quit, Mr. Davin, yo. So yeah. So if if you want to make some shorts for us and make a little bit of money, let us know. I'll give you, it depends on how many views you get of our clips. So I'll give away 10 cents per 1,000 views.
Alex, before you go into that too much, why don't you talk about with them offline? Like
offline. We'll talk about it offline. You'll make a Discord? Okay.
I guess you'll do it online, but not off stream is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me.
Well, I'm trying to offer it to everybody, not just him. Anybody who wants to make shorts for the live stream and get paid a little bit of money.
Okay. All right. Anyway, the final part of him talking about the fact that it's more that the shareholders of Berkshire Hathaway are more of a buy and hold category of shareholders is that because the stock is less volatile because of buying shareholders, it limits the opportunities that he has to buy the shares at a cheap price. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Finally, one easily overlooked value calculation specific to Berkshire. As we've discussed, insurance float of the right sort is of great value to us. As it happens, repurchases automatically increase the amount of float per share. That figure has increased during the past 2 years by 25%, going from $79,387 per A share to $99,497. A meaningful gain that is noted owes some thanks to repurchases. Why don't you look up Berk A?
Berkshire A, like the one that's worth $500,000, that one.
Yeah, can you share? Oh, I'm zoomed in too much. Let me zoom out. Yeah, 555,000. So, I'll just say, back in the 1980s.
Let's see how far it goes.
I was in. So they go back to 1984. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So go to like 1987.
All right. There you go. 3,300.
All right. Go to like October '87.
All right. 1 second.
Right there, June of '88.
June of '88, right?
Yeah, that's 98.
Oh, 88, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, August. I can get to May. Is that close enough? May 27th? Because it's really hard to get it perfectly.
Well, that's close enough. So I was in school back then, and my teacher ran a stock market competition. So everybody had an imaginary $20,000 to invest in the stock market, and for 1 month we tracked at what everybody bought and sold to see who would come out the winner. And
there's a lot of cheaters, right?
Strategy. Oh, there were so many cheaters. Yeah, I've told you this story before. There were so many of the guys would say, "Oh no, I traded that yesterday." Anytime like a stock went down, they're like, "Oh, I just didn't get my trade into you in time," and the teacher allowed it. He's like, "Okay, fine." Anyway, I won the competition, and what I bought was Berkshire Hathaway, and
you got like second place, right?
No, I got first place.
Oh, you got first. Wow.
Yeah, I won. I didn't even cheat, and the other guys had cheated, and I still won.
Yeah, and imagine if that was real money. How much it would be worth.
Right. So I bought at least 4 shares of Berkshire A,
Well, let's say
And
you
it was
just
less than
bought 4
$20,000.
shares back then, and let's say it was real money. Look at that now.
Yeah, it'd be over $2.2 million
Yeah.
from $20,000 from $20,000 less than $20,000 to over $2.2 million.
Yeah. Which is insane.
And that's in how many years is that?
One of my goals in life is
30,
to own
35 years, 36 years.
One of my goals in life is to own 1 share of Class A. Okay.
There you go.
That's
Okay.
one of my goals. I don't even know what a Class A does compared to a Class B, but I want it. Okay.
You can look it up. I'm trying to remember. I think it has 1,500 times the economic interest as the Class B. I think it's a
Okay.
1,500 to 1.
Okay.
it's a 1,500
We'll look it up a little later.
Well, take the price of Berkshire B. What is it, 365 or something?
Yeah, let's see. Let's look at Berk B.
Multiply it by 1,500, and if it's higher than the Class A is, then Class B is more expensive. So you'd be better off buying the Class A. You get it for a bargain, basically.
It's 1,500. Oh yeah. Let's see. So Class B is the bargain right
equal?
now.
Okay. Well, you didn't have the 65 cents. So I think that'll actually make a difference.
Oh yeah, I probably will. Alright. Yeah, Class B is still... Oh, it just dropped to 30 cents. It's active
Okay.
right now.
All right. So right now, Class B is the better one to buy. Although some people, when it gets way out of whack, they will buy. I think they buy A and convert it to B because you're allowed to convert it one direction but not the other. And
Oh, you are? I did not know that.
I think so. I mean, don't quote me on that. You might have to look that up.
Okay.
All right, back to the letter.
Where did the letter go? Uh-oh. I gotta find the letter. Okay, there it is.
I'm on the section that says, "A wonderful man and a wonderful business." Last year, Paul Andrews died. Paul was the founder and CEO of TTI, a Fort Worth-based subsidiary of Berkshire. Throughout his life, in both his business and his personal pursuits, Paul quietly displayed all the qualities that Charlie and I admire. His story should be told. In 1971, Paul was working as a purchasing agent for General Dynamics when the roof fell in. After losing a huge defense contract, the company fired thousands of employees, including Paul. Hey, guess where General Dynamics is headquartered?
Where?
Well, you can look it up later.
Wait, I'm gonna look it up right now.
With his
General
first child,
Dynamics headquarters. Reston!
Let's see.
Reston, Virginia.
Yeah. With his first child due soon, Paul decided to bet on himself, using $500 of his savings to found Textronics, later renamed TTI. The company set itself up to distribute small electronic components, and first-year sales totaled $112,000. Today, TTI markets more than 1 million different items with annual volume of $7.7 billion. But back to 2006, Paul at 63 then found himself happy with his family, his job, and his associates. But he had one nagging worry, heightened because he had recently witnessed a friend's early death and the disastrous results that followed for that man's family and business. What, Paul asked himself in 2006, would happen to the many people depending on him if he should unexpectedly die? Now, I really want you to pay attention to this story because it's really interesting, and I think it could prove to be very valuable for us and our audience in the future. For a year, Paul wrestled with his options. Sell to a competitor? From a strictly economic viewpoint, that course made the most sense. After all, competitors could envision lucrative synergies, savings that would be achieved as they acquire duplicated functions at TTI. But such a purchaser would most certainly also retain its CFO, its legal counsel, its HR unit. Their TTI counterparts would therefore be sent packing. And ugh, If a new distribution center were to be needed, the acquirer's home city would be certainly favored over Fort Worth. Whatever the financial benefits, Paul quickly concluded that selling to a competitor was not for him. He next considered seeking a financial buyer, a species once labeled, aptly so, a leveraged buyout firm. Paul knew, however, that such a purchaser would be focused on an exit strategy, and who could know what that would be? Brooding over it all, Paul found himself having no interest in handing his 35-year-old creation over to a reseller.
Wait. There's something funny in the chat. I wonder if I invest in General Dynamics, if they will give me an M61 Vulcan. Lol. What is that?
An M61 Vulcan?
Yeah, do you know what that is? Let's look that one up.
Is it a tank? Or a gun? What is it?
It's like a Gatling gun.
Okay.
And it's made by...
weapon.
Yeah. It's made by them, apparently.
Yeah.
It depends how much you invest, I guess.
Well, Elon Musk was selling not flamethrowers, right?
Yeah. I just decided what class is this about? Well, it's not really a class. It's Oh, this is about Berkshire Hathaway A and B. That shoots hand grenades, guys.
It is a little bit like a class.
I mean, I guess it's free college, guys. It's free college. If we market it that way, you're basically instead of paying $20,000 in tuition, you're getting it for free on this channel.
All right, so I want you to focus on the story because the message of the story is pretty great. So, can you recap the Paul story so far?
Yeah, so he wanted to get acquired by somebody, but then he realized that would be bad for his hometown and his company, and then he was trying to get like a private equity investor, but that didn't quite work out, right?
Yeah, when he imagined what would happen to his employees, he didn't like that. What would happen under that scenario either. So then, what does Paul do? He seeks out Warren Buffett.
Oh yeah, Warren Buffett. Yeah.
So this is what Warren says about that. When Paul met me, he explained why he had eliminated those two alternatives as buyers. He then summed up his dilemma by saying, in far more tactful phrasing than this, after a year of pondering the alternatives, I want to sell to Berkshire because you are the only guy left. So I made an offer and Paul said yes. One meeting, one lunch, one deal. To say we both lived happily ever after is an understatement. When Berkshire purchased TTI, the company employed 2,387. Now the number is 8,043. A large percentage of that growth is placed in Fort Worth and environs. Earnings have increased 673%. Annually, I would call Paul and tell him his salary should be substantially increased. Annually, he would tell me, we can talk about that next year. Warren, I'm too busy now. When Greg Abel and I attended Paul's memorial service, we met children, grandchildren, long-term associates, including TTI's first employee, and John Roach, the former CEO of a Fort Worth company Berkshire had purchased in 2000. John had steered his friend Paul to Omaha, instinctively knowing we would be a match. At the service, Greg and I heard about the multitudes of people and organizations that Paul had silently supported. The breadth of his generosity was extraordinary, geared always to improving the lives of others, particularly those in Fort Worth. In all ways, Paul was a class act. So, I didn't know that we would really get into this too much, but reading this reminds me of the fact that there are a lot of business owners in the U.S. that are
ready to retire, right?
Yeah, they're ready to retire. They're nearing that age where they're looking to sell their business. And people like you and people like those in your audience could be the perfect people to buy one or more of those businesses. And Warren has told this story outside of this letter I've heard him tell this story many times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's being that alternative that really meets the needs of the retiring owner. If you can come in and be the owner of the company in a way that meets the needs of the person retiring, you're going to be their favorite choice. Like you're going to be their preferred choice to be the buyer. But that comes with having empathy and being able to understand what their needs are.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm typing in the chat. I'm trying to schedule some call with this guy really quick. Wait, one's 3 p.m. How many hours is that away from now? Let's see. 5 hours?
4 hours and 44 minutes.
We're going to just say 5 hours. Alright. Alrighty.
If we keep pushing, we can get through this letter in the next 20 minutes. Should we do that?
Oh, yeah, let's do our best. I might just tell the guy I'm going to be a little late. Okay, for the 11 o'clock.
I think we can get this done in 20 minutes, but we got to focus a little bit.
Okay, let's focus.
All right. Good luck, occasionally extraordinary luck, has played its part at Berkshire. If Paul and I had not enjoyed a mutual friend, John Roach, TTI would not have found its home with us. But that ample serving of luck was only the beginning. TTI was soon to lead Berkshire to its most important acquisition. What? What do you think Berkshire's most important acquisition was?
I'm not sure.
Every fall, Berkshire directors... Well, we're going to find out. Every fall, Berkshire directors gather for a presentation by a few of our executives. We sometimes choose the site based upon the location of a recent acquisition. By that means allowing directors to meet the new subsidiary's CEO and learn more about the acquiree's activities. In the fall of 2009, we consequently selected Fort Worth so that we could visit TTI. At that time, BNSF, which also had Fort Worth as its hometown, was the third largest holding among our marketable equities. Despite that large stake, I had never visited the railroad's headquarters. Deb Bozanek, my assistant, scheduled our board's opening dinner for October 22nd. Meanwhile, I arranged to arrive earlier that day to meet with Matt Rose, CEO of BNSF, whose accomplishments I had long admired. When I made the date, I had no idea that our get-together would coincide with BNSF's third quarter earnings report, which was released late on the 22nd. The market reacted badly to the railroad's results. The Great Recession was in full force in the third quarter, and BNSF's earnings reflected that slump. The economic outlook was also bleak. Wall Street wasn't feeling friendly to railroads, or much else. Are you reading it by looking down at your lap, or are you looking at something else?
I'm listening, but I'm not directly reading it. I'm looking I'm looking at my calendar right now. Alrighty.
Yep. I'm going to keep going. On the following day, I again got together with Matt and suggested that Berkshire would offer the railroad a better long-term home than it could expect as a public company. I also told him the maximum price that Berkshire would pay. Matt relayed the offer to his directors and advisors. 11 busy days later, Berkshire and BNSF announced a firm deal. And here I'll venture a rare prediction. Listen to this. BNSF will be a key asset for Berkshire and our country a century from now. That's pretty bold. I mean, railroads are valuable, but a century from now, you think it'll still be a key asset?
Well, maybe the railroads will be like the Japanese bullet trains by then.
Oh, maybe. The BNSF acquisition would never have happened if Paul Andrews hadn't sized up Berkshire as the right home for TTI. Thanks. I taught my first investing class 70 years ago. Since then, I have enjoyed working almost every year with students of all ages, finally retiring from that pursuit in 2018. Along the way, my toughest audience was my grandson's 5th grade class. The 11-year-olds were squirming in their seats and giving me blank stares until I mentioned Coca-Cola and its famous secret formula. Instantly, every hand went up, and I learned that secrets are catnip to kids. Maybe we should have some catnip for Claus during the live stream every now and then.
Yeah, exactly. Claus is hasn't seen me for a couple of days, so I didn't even say hello to Claus last night.
Oh, yeah, he was missing you.
Yeah.
Teaching, like writing, has helped me develop and clarify my own thoughts. So what has helped him clarify his own thoughts?
Wait, say it again. Sorry.
Teaching, like writing.
Oh, teaching. Hey, and that's kind of what we're doing here. We're reading, we're discussing, and then we're teaching.
Charlie calls this phenomenon the orangutan effect. If you sit down with an orangutan and carefully explain to it one of your cherished ideas, you may leave behind a puzzled primate, but will yourself exit thinking more clearly. We kind of mentioned something similar to this when we read the first letter, when I was mentioning the Feynman technique.
Yes.
Which is when you can teach something and explain something clearly to someone else, it helps your understanding.
And then get even better. I mean, the thing is, I was listening to a podcast when I was on my business trip at Primerica with one of my roommates. We all got it on like the TV, right? The podcast. And what it was saying is helping people learn is in your best self-interest. It might not sound like it to people, but it is in your best self-interest to help people learn. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Warren writes, talking to university students is far superior. I have urged that they seek employment in 1, the field, and 2, with the kind of people they would select if they had no need for money. Economic realities, I acknowledge, may interfere with that kind of search. Even so, I urge the students never to give up the quest, for when they find that sort of job, they will no longer be working. What's he saying here?
He's talking about the railroads, or theoretical ones that can go several times the speed of sound, using giant underground that have the air removed, that makes it super fuel efficient.
Oh, you're reading the comment. Well, I was asking what was Warren saying in the letter.
Oh, okay.
I found a way to be able to see the comments. I zoom in on your screen share, and now I can see them.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the comment. So, Evil Dave, a little bit about Evil Dave, Dad. He's from South Africa, and he's made many inventions, and so he's working on the Zolcast and getting paid that way, and then he's also doing a couple other things. And the thing is, he's going to be the top 1% of South Africa pretty soon, just working with me. Because they're...
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's... excuse my South African pronunciation, but there is a South African company that I find fascinating. It's called Naspers, but in South African dialect, it'd be something like Naspers? I don't know. How would you say
Naspers, I think.
I don't know. They say they have a different pronunciation, but that's one we could look into, not today, but another time. It's very interesting company.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great to hear about all the stuff he's working on. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Back to the letter?
Yeah.
So I'll summarize because you probably have lost the thread on what he was saying.
Yeah, by now I did. Yeah.
He was saying that when he talks to university students, he encourages them to pursue or to seek employment in the field and with the people that they would select if they had no need for money. So if money was no object, if money had nothing to do with it, what field would you work in and who would you work with? And like that should be the criteria to
I mean, for me, it's definitely business still, because I want to provide people with jobs. I want to provide people with opportunities. I want to, try to make a golden age, okay? Like, do it all. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to keep reading with the letter. Charlie and I ourselves followed that liberating course after a few early stumbles. We both started as part-timers at my grandfather's grocery store. Charlie in 1940 and I in 1942. We were each assigned boring tasks and paid little, definitely not what we had in mind. Charlie later took up law, and I tried selling securities. Job satisfaction continued to elude us. Finally, at Berkshire, we found what we love to do. With very few exceptions, we have now, quote, worked, unquote, for many decades with people whom we like and trust. It's a joy in life to join with managers such as Paul Andrews or the Berkshire families I told you about last year. Oh, and we'll read last year's report soon. In our home office, we employ decent and talented people, no jerks. Turnover averages perhaps one person per year. I would like, however, to emphasize a further item that turns our jobs into fun and satisfaction. Working for you. There's nothing more rewarding to Charlie and me than enjoying the trust of individual long-term shareholders, who for many decades have joined us with the expectation that we would be a reliable custodian of their funds. Obviously, we can't select our owners, as we could do if our form of operation were a partnership. Anyone can buy shares of Berkshire today with the intention of soon reselling them. For sure, we get a few of that type of shareholder, just as we get index funds that own huge amounts of Berkshire simply because they're required to do so. To a truly unusual degree, however, Berkshire has, as owners, a very large core of individuals and families that have elected to join us with the intent of approaching till death do us part. Often they've trusted us with a large, some might say, excessive portion of their savings. Berkshire, these shareholders would sometimes acknowledge, might be far from the best selection they could have made. But they would add that Berkshire would rank high among those with which they would be most comfortable. And people who are comfortable with their investments will, on average, achieve better results than those who are motivated by ever-changing headlines, chatter, and promises. Long-term individual owners are both the partners Charlie and I have always sought, and the ones we constantly have in mind as we make decisions at Berkshire. To them we say, it feels good to work for you, and you have our thanks for your trust. The annual meeting. Now this is in the past, but he says, clear your calendar. Berkshire will have its annual gathering of capitalists in Omaha, and he lists the date, but this is in the past. So, and he lays out the details later on in the report. I will end this letter with a sales pitch. Cousin Jimmy Buffett has designed a pontoon party boat that is now being manufactured by Forest River, a Berkshire subsidiary. The boat will be introduced on April 29th at a Berkshire Bazaar of Bargains. And for 2 days only, shareholders will be able to purchase Jimmy's masterpiece at a 10% discount. Your bargain hunting chairman will be buying a boat for his family's use. Join me, February 26, 2022, Warren Buffett, chairman of the board. There you go.
Alrighty. We finished the letter, and perfect timing because I only have 3 minutes left for the live stream. Because I have to get stuff done. Anything else that we should talk about?
I think we're good. If you want to end the stream, and then you and I can talk for another minute or two, just to have a little post-stream wrap-up.
Sure. All right. This is Thomas Lindsey, and
this is Thomas Lindsey.
And thank you guys for watching. Have a good one, and peace.